it's KT with OT. We're the For Your Reference podcast. We do reviews, interviews, and also bring TV and film news. In today's video, we're closing out this year's final Ref Max before our Christmas special episode. We'll delve into a heartfelt Disney drama, Out of My Mind, investigate the monstrous fun of Creature Commandos, revisit the electrifying world of solo leveling Reawakening, and explore the layered morality of The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. We'll talk representation, emotional resonance, and the delicate push and pull of understanding characters on all sides of a conflict. Grab a drink, settle in, and let's dive into what these titles brought us this season.
We are.
For 1,000 points, who was the first European to discover America?
Christopher Columbus.
Melody?
Leif Erikson.
That's correct.
First up, Disney's Out of My Mind. This coming-of-age film revolves around Melody, a young girl with cerebral palsy. Non-verbal and often underestimated, Melody's world expands as she yearns to engage fully with her classmates, family, and life's little sparkly joys. Yes, even the fun gossiping about boys kind of joy. What's remarkable here is how the film brings us into Melody's perspective. Without relying solely on dialogue, it uses narration voiced by Jennifer Aniston to guide our understanding of Melody's emotions. We witness frustration when communication tools fail, relief when she's finally heard, and the universal teenage desire to belong. More importantly, the film doesn't flatten Melody's character into a symbol of resilience. She's a complete person with wants and fears that feel strikingly real. Out of My Mind thrives on authenticity. The lead actress, Phoebe Taylor, also has cerebral palsy, ensuring that the representation isn't just a checkbox, but a lived experience brought to screen. The result? A film that doesn't sugarcoat the complexities of disability, yet radiates hope and empathy. For anyone needing a reminder that differences can expand our understanding of what it means to grow and be understood, Out of My Mind is a tender, heartful watch.
I was born here.
Who's Jason and the Argonauts?
That's Dr. Phosphorus.
Why are you doing this?
It's business.
What is that thing?
The weasel. We know it has what it takes to survive.
From Disney's heartfelt drama, we now leap into the off-the-wall escapades of Creature Commandos. If you're craving gallows humor, monster mashups, and a kind of playful grittiness that screams Peacemaker energy, look no further. This DC animated series, available on Max in the US and Binge in Australia, feels like anime meets Western animation with a dash of James Gunn's irreverent wit. Think about it. A ragtag crew of oddballs forced to work together by a shadowy government figure. Sound familiar? Sure, it's got that Suicide Squad template, but Creature Commandos manages to carve out its own identity. Over the course of the series, each character's backstory unfolds, inviting you to root for them, laugh at their bungles, and maybe even shed a tear over their unexpected vulnerabilities. It's violent, it's silly, it's heartfelt, and somehow it all works. This is a show that feels tailor-made for weekly discussion. Imagine watching an episode, then spending the next 6 days dissecting the lore, anticipating memes, and praising the voice acting. If you're looking for a break from the usual superhero tropes and you love a good anti-hero narrative with monsters in the mix, Creature Commandos is a deliriously fun palate cleanser.
It's time for your first mission.
Red Gate!
Contact your primary strike squad! Do it now!
Or are you stupid enough to try and stop me? If you want, go for it. I could use a laugh.
Question is, do you have enough luck remaining to escape with your life?
They'll definitely walk out of this.
Now we step into anime territory with solo leveling the Reawakening. If you're new to solo leveling, it's set in a world where hunters face off against monsters emerging from mysterious gates. Our protagonist, Sung Jin-woo, starts off as an underpowered, underappreciated player in a deadly game, until fate grants him the unique ability to level up without limitations. The Reawakening film is both a recap and a bold expansion. It reminds returning fans why they fell in love with Jin-woo's journey, physically, emotionally, and morally, while also welcoming newcomers with open arms. Not just a highlight reel, this film sets the stage for what's to come, teasing us with early episodes of the upcoming season and introducing fresh conflicts that promise even higher stakes. One notable aspect, we watched it dubbed. Dubs in anime can be contentious, but here it feels like a fresh experience. Yes, it's more Americanized in tone, but the core emotions remain. The strength, the tension, the evolution of Junu's character, it all translates across language barriers. And now, the wait for the next season feels that much more urgent. For fans of Naruto, Demon Slayer, or anyone who loves a power-up story with a rich world and layered characterization, Solo Leveling: The Reawakening is a must-watch. It's a gateway into one of the most hyped new anime properties, a reminder that ambition and grit can reshape destiny one level at a time.
I pledge to fight for my king.
You know nothing of war.
I'm the fastest rider you have. People need hope, Hera. Something to believe in.
Finally, we return to Middle-earth with The Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim. It's an animated journey back into a familiar world of noble warriors, sprawling kingdoms, and ancient grudges. But this time, our perspective shifts to the Rohirrim, those proud riders of Rohan we met in the Two Towers. Led by legendary figures like Hera, we explore a story that predates the War of the Ring by centuries. The protagonist Hera evokes a hint of Miyazaki-esque grace, standing tall, fierce, capable, and unwavering. Around her, we meet the so-called antagonist Wolf, whose motivations may surprise you. He's not just a villain twirling a mustache, there's a certain resonance to his graces, a reminder that even the other side has a story worth telling. Yet, the tension in the War of Rohirrim isn't just swords and siege weapons, it's a moral tension that underscores so many conflicts. Who truly deserves the land? Who is really oppressed and who is doing the oppressing? The film teases these questions but doesn't dive as deep as it could. The Rohirrim feel noble and correct until you consider the perspective of the hill tribes, painted in darker browner hues, pushed to the edges of society. The result is a layered, if not fully explored dynamic. On one side, you have people trying to maintain order and tradition. On the other, you have outcasts who bear the brunt of that order. Could we have used more depth? More challenge to the idea of good guys and bad guys? Absolutely. But as a first foray, the War of the Rohirrim gives enough to hunger for more. More nuance, more complexity, and maybe a future installment that dares to tear down those tidy binaries. So what ties all these stories together? It's the idea that beneath every bright holiday light, every splashy battle scene, every heartfelt character moment, there's a longing for connection and understanding. Out of My Mind shows the power of empathy and what it means to truly see someone for who they are. Creature Commandos revels in the messy camaraderie of misfits forging a family of convenience. Solo Leveling: The Reawakening reminds us that growth, power, and second chances define heroism, and the War of the Rohirrim hints that no matter how epic the battle is, real depth lies in understanding all sides of a conflict. As we head into the Christmas season and whatever holiday or personal milestones you're observing, why not savor these narratives? They entertain, yes, but they also invite reflection on who we root for, who we misunderstand, and how stories can bridge the gaps between us. If you enjoyed this mix of heartfelt drama, monstrous mayhem, epic fantasy, and anime intrigue, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and join us for more deep dives. We've got plenty more in store, interviews, retrospectives, and an exciting Christmas special on the way. Until then, stay splooshy, friends and lovers, and keep loving TV and film. Because when the festive season ends, the stories remain, and that's something we can all celebrate.